record on this computer. All right, we're recording.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I see recording. Cool. All right, so I actually do have some slides that I want to share with you guys. I want to keep this like super informal. So if you have questions, put them in the chat or raise your hand and let's stop and answer them, because the way I'm structuring this call is like we have kind of different topics, and I don't want to wait till the very end and then us be like, wait, what was that? Let's go back and explain it. So if you have questions, let's ask them immediately. And then I have some slides that I can share with you guys also that might help a little bit. So yes, you should be able to see my screen. Let's present. So first of all, thanks for waking up so freaking early and doing this with me. Allie and I were just talking about how like we actually prefer all of our team calls being in the morning, and Lauren actually does hers on Saturday mornings. So
I agree. I don't think I could get anybody on my team this early. I bet Hannah would, but a lot of people I feel like on my team like to sleep in. But evenings, I feel like I'm ready to fall asleep.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel with like 8 o'clock or anything later. Okay, so this is for Elite or Premier. The qualifications are really, really similar. The only difference is that Elite, at the end of the year, you have to be a 5-star diamond. Premier, at the end of the year, you have to be a 2-star diamond. So that is literally the only difference between the two. So whenever I'm talking, just keep that in mind, except for the rewards. The rewards are way better with Elite than Premier. But it's somewhere to start. Like I hit Premier one year and then we hit Elite the next year. So my goal would, like my suggestion would be to shoot for Elite. And then if you hit Premier, cool, that's great. But why not shoot for the stars since they're kind of similar anyways? Okay, so let's kind of start with the why. There are some awesome, at least for me, the biggest thing is one, that you're creating a stable team, which equals a stable business, which means income growth. So at least for me, having a stable team, leaders that I can count on, people that want to do this with me, that's way more important than any rewards I'm about to acknowledge. And I think you'll find that too. But there are some really freaking cool rewards that go along with Elite and Premier. Also, another cool thing is like, if you say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go first, then it seems possible for your other coaches. Like we hit Elite, what was it, 2 years ago for the first time. And then the next year I had many of my diamonds or potential diamonds being like, hey, I want to do that. So it's kind of like it becomes tangible for them. And that's a really cool, awesome little thing. I keep moving you guys around because you keep covering up my text. But I'm not going to go through all of these. But for me also, the Elite reward is that there is a monthly $500 bonus. So that is not in your commission. That's nothing. It's literally like Beachbody says, here's an extra $500. Congratulations. And it just shows up. I forget that it's even in my paycheck. And then I go back and I'm like, oh, they adjusted my paycheck. They added $500 to it. And that's monthly. So what's 5 times 12? 6, is that right? $6,000 a year just for hitting Elite. You do have to keep your 5-star bonus or your 5-star status. But that's it. So that's if you're in the top 200. If you if you hit Elite, but are not in the top 200, it's $100 a month. Being in the top 200, if you're hitting Elite, you're probably going to be in the top 200 most of the time. I think we had like 206 coaches hit Elite last year. So there were 6 coaches that didn't get that top or that $500 bonus. That would really stink. Kind of cool. You get to be recognized on stage. You get the fun Elite wall that has like the cool, there's a different prize every year. Custom jackets. They spoil the heck out of you at leadership. I got something in my hotel room every single night show up. And they were cute. They were like pajama pants one night, pajama top, a little shawl jacket type thing. Elite parties, if you like parties, that type of thing. maybe one of my favorite things was the floor seats at leadership or at Summit, because I could literally stroll in as it's starting and I had a seat, and there's a picture of me with my little seat. It was so cool. Like, I am always running late. And so the fact that like they just had a seat saved for me, I was like, this is awesome. And then I got to invite one of my leaders to sit with me each night, which was really cool. Similar for Premier, except for you don't get the bonus. You don't have like the as much recognition and those types of things, but still a really cool thing for Premier. Ooh, go to the next. Okay. I skipped something. All right, so you might be thinking, okay, how do we do this then? And I think some of you guys know these already, but I just want to kind of clarify things. I have kind of like Beachbody terms, and then I broke it into like simple terms. But monthly or over the year, you have to have 2 new diamonds, 105 what's called leadership points. And we'll talk about the difference between something called leadership and ranking points. But right now, we are just talking about what's called leadership points. You have to be a 5-star diamond for 6 weeks. You know, you have to hit that rank within the year, and then have 5,000 volume on your weak leg in 5 weeks. I think if you're getting 2 new diamonds this year and you have the 105 leadership points, you will probably hit that volume marker. If not, it's something that we can work with, you know, come August or September. If you have all of those other things, it's something that we can focus on. Courtney Harden realized she didn't have that volume towards the end of the year. And so we adjusted a few things where she was putting coaches, and she hit it pretty easily. Okay, so where those 105 points come from, you see that there's 50, 50, and 5 points. We're going to focus on this first category and this last category, okay? Here's the terminology that Beachbody uses. They use PSSC, APV, PS1 plus SC. I'm going to simplify that, so don't worry about it too much. But basically, in this first category that you're going to get 50 points from, can you guys see that? I keep moving URLs. Can you guys? Okay. Yeah, you can see it. All right. So I figured up the totals and what you need. And basically what you need is 2 to 3. You need to average 2 to 3 coaches that were new last year or new in this year in 2020 hitting Success Club monthly. Okay. And if you miss that one, you know, let's say in January you have one coach who meets that criteria that hits Success Club, well, you need to up it for next month or something like that. Like this is a 12-month goal. So if you don't hit those 2 to 3 in January, that's okay. You can make up for it. But I was just breaking it down. And every month you need 2 to 3 of your personal coaches, not coaches on your team, your personal coaches that signed up last year or this year to hit Success Club. Okay. That is very, very, very doable. That's you and 2 friends hitting Success Club every month. Okay. The APV, that is from this year's customers and coaches orders, whenever that totals 50 PV. So whenever your customers and coaches from this year totals 50 PV, you get one point. Okay. You guys, I keep saying this, but if you're hitting Success Club and you have coaches hitting Success Club, this will happen. I promise. If you are just doing the activities, this will happen. I have never, ever tracked my APV ever. And it's just automatically happened.
This is my first one that always gets capped out.
Yeah.
Like, it has always been the easiest.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you're hitting like Success Club 10 every month or higher, like this is going to for sure. So you'll even notice whenever I have you guys break down monthly goals, we don't even talk about this category, but it is one you're going to see it in your coach office. Okay. And then the last one is called PS1 plus Success Club. Okay. and you only need 5 points in this category. But for me, this was my hardest one last year. So this is your brand new coaches that sign up this month in February and March. Okay, your 2020 coaches, if they earn 1 Success Club point, they don't even have to hit Success Club. They help one person and get 1 Success Club point in either that, like, the month they sign up or that next following month. So I call it in their first or following month, you get 1 point. So let's say you sign someone up in January and they sell a challenge pack to their mom. You get 1 point. Maybe you sign up a new coach in February and they sell a challenge pack to their best friend. You get a point. Okay. So you only need 5 points. You only need this technically to happen 5 times. So that's 5 different months, or in the same month even. It could happen all in January if you have some rock stars this month. You need 5 new coaches to get at least 1 point in their first month. Okay, so let's go to.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
For the APV, for my second business center, would that count? I know. So if I add new coaches or new customers in my second business center, does that cycle up for my APV? Okay, perfect.
Yes. The only thing that would not count is husband's account. But anything that happens in your second business center, that all rolls up to your first business center.
Again, I have a question.
Go for it.
For the PS and then the SC 50 points, those are the ones, like, if you get Success Club, then you multiply that by 2, right? Is that the same category that I'm thinking of? Or no?
Hold on. Rhett's waking up. I just want to make sure Zach heard him. Okay, thank you. He said he's out there. Okay, say that again, Court.
In that first category, the PS, SC 50 points, that's the one if you get Success Club, then they double the points, right? So say like I hit Success Club and then 2 to 3 of my coaches hit Success Club, and then there's something where it's multiplied by 2.
Yeah. When I figured this, I assumed that you guys were hitting Success Club.
Right. Yeah. I was just making sure that was, I thought that I saw that on the sheet, and I was like making sure that was correct. Because, yeah, that should be, if you're hitting Success Club and have 2 people, that should be like so doable then.
Yeah. So if you don't hit Success Club, that person only counts as 1 point. But I think if you hit Success Club, they count as 2 points.
Yes. Okay. That's what I was making sure. I'm trying to like take all this in so I can explain it later to my coaches.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Okay. So I'm going to kind of break this down into like my terms. That first category where you need 50 points, like we just talked about, it's 2 to 3 coaches from last year, this year hitting Success Club. I said the middle category will happen automatically. And then I put 6 new coaches. Technically, you need only 5 new coaches hitting one Success Club point in their first month. Okay. Let's keep moving on. Okay, so we're going to move on to ranking points. These are totally different from leadership points. Leadership points, you need to hit elite or premier. This just shows what rank you are. So like, for example, if I said we're, rank 76, that's great. That only really matters if you get to that top 200 and you want that $500 bonus. Otherwise, these do not count towards elite. So keep that in mind. We've had a lot of discussion about that in this past year. These are great. They don't count towards elite at all. So unless you hit elite, your ranking points don't matter at all. Okay. But it is cool, especially if you have a rank goal or something like that. But just want to say these don't count. But these come in 25 points. So they're like a total boost in your rank when they happen. But if you have a personal coach of yours, that rank advances to diamond, which is new this year. So if someone rank advances to diamond, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, you get 25 extra points each time that happens. Okay. So let's say you have a coach that is an emerald and they go all the way to 3 star this year. Well, you're going to get 25 points for diamond, 25 points for 1 star, 25 points for 2 star, and 25 points for 3 star. So that coach could potentially earn your team 100 extra points towards your rank. Okay, so this is really cool because I have some coaches who are sitting at like 2-star and they're going to get to 5-star this year. And so they're going to earn our team that 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, you know, an extra 75 points. Like, this is crazy. And I love that they added diamond this year because it used to not be in there last year. But you have to have two coaches hit diamond this year. So that's a guaranteed 50 points towards your rank. Okay. And then you get 25 points each new coach that hits Success Starter. So that is coaches who hit Success Club 3 months out of their first 6 months as a coach. They just changed those qualifications this year, but those are cool little bonus points. Okay, questions about ranking points? All right, so let's bring it back. Keep it super, super simple. Bare bones, what do you need to hit elite? Okay, it looks really simple here. It's going to take some time. My goal is always to try to hit elite by summit because I want to push in the beginning of the year when people are excited, new resolutions, you know, wanting to do exciting new things. That's always my goal. We hit it, I think, by October this year. Like, we hit it in October. So it's a little later than I like, but here's what you need to do. You need to have 2 new diamonds we just talked about, and they have to hold that for 6 weeks. Okay, so if you're shooting for Premier, like, you have to get to 2-star anyways. Many of you all have to get to 5-star anyways. So those 2 new diamonds are going to happen, and they're going to get you to that thing. Okay, but they do have to hold that diamond rank for 6 weeks, which is kind of hard for some people. I didn't do it right away as a new coach. Okay, so don't just be like, oh my gosh, you hit diamond, that's awesome. They have to hit it and hold it for 6 weeks. Okay, you need to have, like we talked about, those 2 to 3 coaches from last year that signed up last year or this year hitting Success Club monthly. Okay, and if you only have one month, you can always make that up in the next month. You need to have 6, actually technically it's 5 new 2020 coaches with 1 Success Club point in their first month as a coach. Hi there. And then for elite, you have to be a 5-star diamond team. For Premier, you have to be a 2-star diamond team. I forgot to add, you need to be hitting Success Club also yourself.
I have a question real fast about the 2 new diamonds.
Yeah.
So if we had a diamond that didn't hold it for the 6 weeks, and then in this year they do hold it for the 6 weeks, is that considered a new diamond?
As far as I know, as I know, no.
Okay.
They have to hit it in that year.
Okay.
And hold it for those 6 weeks.
Gotcha.
They can count towards your 5-star diamond, obviously.
Right.
But not those 2 new diamonds.
Gotcha.
They have to hit it within that year.
Okay. Perfect.
But if you have a coach hit diamond in your second business center, they do count as your 2 new diamonds.
Oh, okay.
They just will not count as your rank, your total 5-star diamond team rank.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Perfect.
Like, I forget what it was. It was like 2 years ago, I had 2 of my coaches in my second business center hit diamond, and they counted, but they didn't count towards our, like, overall team rank. Does this sound doable to you guys? I know it's daunting. It's about being consistent and helping your coaches hit Success Club, honestly, and helping them rank advance. I know that was kind of the holdup for some of our girls that wanted to hit this last year. Okay, so here would be my top tips that I would suggest starting with. So here's some of my thoughts. Create some kind of visual for tracking the major things that we just talked about. So some kind of visual that tracks, who are those diamonds, who's going to hit it, okay? At least for me, I have my little, oh, you guys can't see that at all. I have my coaches, and you can see their downlines. These are coaches who are at diamond or really close to diamond. So here's Kelly. She has all of these coaches. She's literally missing one emerald over here. Okay, so who are your girls who are potential new diamonds? Some way track their downline. I check their downline each Thursday and do a little update with them. This is so bright. Some kind of visual for tracking coaches hitting Success Club. Maybe that's, on your planner or something like that, where you can kind of track how many coaches are hitting Success Club each month that are 2019, 2020 coaches, and then new coaches who are getting 1 Success Club point. So find something that's going to help you track those things. The coach office does, but I don't know. For me, I like it to be somewhere where I can see it and not be online. The second Friday of every month, you can track your progress in the coach office. So in the coach office, and I can help you guys with this, but basically it'll tell you where you are with your points, where you are with your rank, all of that stuff. Tell your team this goal. You guys, you have got to get them on board. This is not a Allie goal. This is not a Lauren goal. This is not a Courtney or an Amy goal. This is a team goal. Oh, there's more of you guys on. I didn't see that there were more that popped on. Ask who's in, let them know in super simple terms what this means. We've got to get 2 new diamonds this year. We have to get coaches that are hitting Success Club. Who wants to do this with me? Okay. If no one is in, it's time for you to start adding some new people to your team. And don't get butthurt if people are not in. Like, if they just signed up because they just want rah, rah, rah cheerleaders, that's cool. You provide that in your challenge group, but they're not your business builders. They're not people who are willing to put themselves out there and help others. I'm going to get real fiery and passionate about this real second, because do not get upset if people don't have the same goals as you, but also don't belittle your goals and act like they're not important to you. Like, if you want elite this year, by golly, put it out there and let them know that you think your team is capable of doing that, even if your team does not exist yet. Okay. I have seen this happen. One of my good friends, Caitlin Brown, literally signed up in the fall and hit elite in that next year. Insane. It's insane. I don't even know how she did it, but she did it with the team that she built that year that she hit elite. Okay. So ask who's in. If no one's in, it's time to add some business builders to your team. If people are in, create a little conversation pod with them, keep it small, and give this what your team needs to do in super simple terms. Okay. So don't be talking about PS1 plus 1 SC. Don't be calling it that. To keep it really, really simple of what your team needs to accomplish. Okay. Show monthly how they are contributing to your elite team goal. Okay. So talk about who contributed the points that month. Talk about who is getting close to diamond. Talk about, those types of things, and recognize the heck out of those that are doing the activities that is bringing your team closer to elite. Okay. Get to work now. This is going to be one hard year if you want to hit elite. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't happen by just, magically appearing in your lap. Like, you have got to be working. You've got to get coaches working. Personally, I suggest, this is what I have done and notice when I hit elite, is recruiting 3 to 4 working coaches monthly, because not all of those are going to end up working. For example, I had a girl sign up in December. I thought she was going to do great. She canceled already by now. So it happens to me, you guys. If you're getting coach cancellations of girls who are like, I'm going to do this, I have this vision, blah, 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 blah. That's cool. They might cancel a week from now. So you've got to be recruiting a few more than what you need. Okay. For me, my sweet spot has been 3 to 4 working coaches, not discount coaches, working coaches. And then hitting Success Club yourself. You've got to lead by example if you want them to be doing it. Okay. And then let's chat a little bit. It is 7 o'clock. So if you need to go, I totally understand. If you guys want to chat a little bit about some ideas or things that have worked for you, because I am struggling with the new coaches getting 1 Success Club point. So let's spend some time to brainstorm or answer any questions you have about new coaches getting 1 Success Club point, getting your coaches consistently hitting Success Club, or rank advancing diamonds. So if you have thoughts, I'm going to turn off my screen.
Is there something like an incentive that we could, I mean, there's a ton of incentives with Beachbody. Obviously they're earning money if they get a Success Club point, but is there something fun we could do as like a team? I don't really know, to get them to be like, this is your goal. Like when they become a coach, they're gonna like, I want to get this prize, or I want to get this and earn this. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that, at least for me, I was very motivated when I was being recognized. So maybe it's something like, even if they get their first Success Club point, we recognize them in the team. And like, if you see someone got 1 Success Club point, everybody just like showers them with praise.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like 1 Success Club point is not huge in the grand scheme of things. So it's
But
like, I don't want you to be spending like 20 bucks on them or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
But I think there's power in recognition also.
I agree. When I was working with Mary, I had asked her about like this topic because I was asking her like what elite coaches were doing that had more points in this area. And she said they were turning it more into like an accountability thing. So like when a new coach would sign up, she said they were saying like, okay, now who is going to be your first accountability partner with this? Like who's going to be your friend that you would invite to go to a workout class? Who's going to be the first person that you would have come into our challenge group? And so I thought that was a really good mindset. Like, I thought that was a really good approach to bring that to a new coach, because if we were going to a Zumba class down the street, we'd ask a friend to go with us. Well, this is kind of no different. If we're going to do a virtual accountability group, which friend are you going to ask to do this with you? And I don't know, that just resonated with me because it just made it something so simple to give to a new coach.
Yeah, if you guys do not frantically write that down, please write that down because it's something that I'm going to for sure use. Lauren, will you type the wording in the chat of what you just said, just so that we all kind of are on the same page there?
Yeah, it's funny you said that because Mary said the same thing to me when I talked to her.
Must be working.
Yep. And it's very simple, I think, too. Like, just invite a friend, 1 friend. It's not intimidating.
Okay, so far we have just recognizing them. I think recognizing them also in the big team page. Like, I think anytime that they can be acknowledged, I think is huge. I think about it as a teacher, like I just craved acknowledgement so much of what I was doing.
I think adding them to your story too, like you don't have to be like, they hit 1 Success Club, like find a fun way to put in your story. Like my coaches love when I put them on my story. They're always sharing it to theirs, because when other people view their stories, I feel like they're like, oh my gosh, people know that I'm doing something with this business, and that like it kind of boosts their ego a little bit. So like I love when Megan gives me shout outs in her story, if it's like, you know, transformational business, whatever. So I need to be better at like recognize, because coaches do love that.
Oh my gosh, yes. And even just saying like helped, found her first accountability partner that's doing this with her or anything like that. Plus it's credit to you that you're mentoring people. And people that are actually signing up as coaches are seeing success.
Not only that, but I feel like whenever like we as coaches shout out our ladies, especially if they're brand new, if it's in their first month and they're just like starting to post and share, they're really nervous about it. But when we like shout them out, other people can see like, oh, she's not just in this alone, especially because often they'll go to our page or whoever's page and then they're like, whoa, this is legit. So what she's doing must be, so it might just bring more credibility too to them. So I like that. I was thinking about the whole shouting out. I think shouting out is good, but I just hate for like, what if somebody gets that first Success Club point in their second month? Obviously it doesn't meet the goal that we're needing. And then do we still shout them out? And then, or do we not? And then they're like, well, why did they get shouted out for one, but I didn't get, so I just don't want that to get like sticky or weird, so
I would tell them, like, when they sign on, like, if you like hit this in your first month, you get a huge recognition in our page. That way, if they don't hit it and you're shouting somebody else, no, they're like, oh damn, that coach got it in the first month, like I'm gonna push now, kind of thing.
Like maybe even make the graphic say like first month point something, that way it's more clear.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you mention like the fact that it helped the team with the elite goal, like I was so like, Shauna could have said like, I need you to do this for our team. And I would have been like, how high do I need to jump? Like I am super, and I know not everybody's motivated by helping like a bigger cause, but I'm super, super motivated by like, I did something that helped our big cause. And that's, I think is really, really huge. Something that I downplay. I don't like emphasize as much because I'm like, oh, they're not that interested in our goals. And I'm like, heck yeah, they are. Like, why else would they sign up? Sorry, my lighting is driving me absolutely insane right now. Okay, so I think we've got some good ideas with that. I'm going to maybe make a list of things that I want us to start recognizing in Spirit and Spunk. And I think that would be huge. And not saying you shouldn't recognize those in your team page, but I think we need a list of like, what are the things that we for sure want to recognize there? And then those based off of what helps our team, honestly, I think it's going to be huge.
Have we thought about doing another tribe wars? Because so many of my women are like me and they're very competitive. So if I do something just like within my team, they're probably not going to jump on it as much as like this bigger push. Because I've just been thinking like a lot of it had to do with Morning Meltdown 100, but I had coaches that never hit Success Club before hit Success Club 10 and above in that month. And I think they just like, they love that like bigger drive. Like they're motivated by me, yes, but they're motivated by like the team effort aspect of it.
Yeah. I definitely like the idea of doing it February with Team Cup. That'll be a really easy way to track it and to get more than just us being the leaders also.
Yeah.
Because Team Cup kind of forces other people to rise up a little bit and create teams. Okay, so I think we have some ideas for one Success Club. What about coaches hitting Success Club consistently? Crickets. Cool. Me too.
And they get recognition on our team board. I don't know with that one. I feel like your coaches who are working are like, I don't know. I just feel like they're going to stick with it already, right? I mean, I had months last year where I struggled hitting SE. I shouldn't say that, but I don't know. I feel like the ones that are like super motivated, maybe it's just like a thing to keep people motivated all year round.
Mine are very driven by the Beachbody prizes. Like this, I have a couple that signed up in April and they're ticked that they don't get this blue hoodie, like where it starts over. And I just like did the announcement about the new prizes and they were like, wait, do I not get the blue hoodie? And they were so bummed. And I know Courtney Harden, Shay was the same way about the luggage. And so mine are really driven from the Beachbody prizes. So my mindset is probably going to be like continuously reminding them of what those are and like what the qualifications for that. Last year when I was noticing like mid-month, if it was like a slow month and I noticed things that weren't moving, or like girls weren't hitting Success Club, I was throwing out like own personal prizes. So I did like a slouch hoodie. Like I had a month where like no one was hitting Success Club and I just found on Etsy this like slouchy hoodie shirt, and I just got it to say grind and shine. And I said, all right, whoever hits Success Club is getting this hoodie. So I ended up buying 3 hoodies, but it also saved my butt. And, you know, I had girls hitting Success Club. So it was $60, but it was an investment towards my business to get it moving. So maybe like months where things are at a standstill, maybe that's kind of when you can throw in your own extra prize. But I definitely plan to like be more intentional about reminding people of the Beachbody prizes.
It's a good idea, Lauren. I like that.
I also think just like, especially if you see them getting like 2 Success Club points on the board, just giving them tons of attention, tons of like personal like encouragement and recognition and those types of things. Like I'm looking at my list. So I wrote a list of my coaches from last year that are actually consistently posting or that have hit Success Club in the past. And I'm just going to like try to like keep a really close eye on them and track them. I don't know. It's looking pretty scary.
Well,
so.
and I think just like the constant, like telling them how to have those conversations. Like I was saying in our Marco a while back about how I do like the script share Saturday. Like I get so many that are like, okay, thank you, because this is like, I need to know like how to have the conversations once I'm, you know, in there. So constant telling them how to hit Success Club. So I love that we're having the Success Club call on the 13th. So constantly doing that. And then like on our new coach call, Lauren and I have a whole slide that we go over, like specifically Success Club, the importance of it, like why helping just three a month is going to move your business forward. And so, I don't know, just constantly like reminding them help 3, because that's what Paige always says too. She's like, I just kept in my mind, I have to help 3 a month.
I agree.
Courtney,
Okay.
I like the script share. When I was coming out with like daily tasks, like something for my group each day, I was like, yep, script share Saturday. Courtney does that. And I remember I just thought that was always helpful. Like when Megan adds something, it's like, oh, that's a good idea for wording. I'm going to use that. And it does, like, you don't think those things as a coach, like, oh, what I say makes a big difference. But when people can add that into their convo as like a missing piece, it's huge. So I like that.
Yeah, I remember when I was a baby coach, when Meg was posting like conversations, I'd be like, ooh, I'm going to use that wording in my conversations. And it's like, it probably did not sound like me at all, but I was like, oh, I'm just going to use that because that's what my coach did. But yeah, so I do try to explain too, like use your wording, because, you know, Meg would be like, you little cutie booty.
I think too, it gives someone the confidence to at least do it. And then the more they do it, then they get comfortable with their own wording. So when you're doing that, when you're giving them that script share, then whether or not they're using your words, at least they're doing the work.
Yeah.
Being scared on, I don't know what to say, because that's what a lot of them get paralyzed by that.
I feel like I have so many coaches when they like said something about goals this year and they're like, and I'm actually going to invite, I'm going to do it. I'm like, why are you not inviting? You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know if I need to have invite parties again. Like, okay, 20 minutes, like once a month, beginning of the month, let's do it. Like, it doesn't have to be every week, but something once a month. I don't know if I need to bring that back, but I'm like, yeah, you definitely need to be inviting. Why are you not doing that? Which I know some of us like get comfortable when people come to us and we maybe know, you know, I'm like, oh, I am at SC this week. I'll focus on inviting next week, but I need to get out of that mindset too. Because I know at the end of December, I had already hit Success Club, but I was like in this grinding mode. And then like the 1st and 2nd of January, I was like, oh, I'm already at Success Club because of those end of the month convos. So kind of like reiterating that to my girls too, of not getting comfortable.
Hey, so I'm going to call out Amy, because Amy signed up in like November of 2018, and I'm pretty sure hit Success Club every single month in 2019. So I think she's an all-star. I haven't gotten my thing yet. But is there anything that you can think of, like mindset of like a newer coach that either motivated you to hit Success Club or that helped you, like either the why or the how with hitting Success Club as a newer coach that you can think of?
Incentives, because I remember whenever they announced whenever they announced like the prizes or whatever for 2019, I was like, I saw the luggage and I was like, that's really motivating, but I don't think I can do that. Like I did not think I was gonna be able to. So that was a super big motivator. But that just like became my non-negotiable. I don't know. And then I think like the recognition thing is a huge deal. I think just like seeing your name on the recognition board is a big deal, because I remember one of my coaches, Nicole, like that's all she ever wanted. She was like, I just want my name on that board. I just want my name on that board. And like she did it and she was excited. But so I think recognition goes a long way, which I was just thinking about in the recognition part of it. I thought about, which my team's kind of small, so I don't know if it would make sense for like a bigger team to do, but like just recognizing all of the lives changed in 2019, and just like combining that big number so people could actually see, like your team could see like what all you did in 2019, or like a year in review type thing or something like that. But I don't know, that just came like a non-negotiable for me to hit Success Club, whether it was 6 or 10. I think I only hit 10 like a few times, but definitely the prizes. And I just don't think like I shut up about it on my social media. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you're super consistent with like the daily basic activities, like getting results, doing programs, you know, like,
and I think that's where like,
inviting.
Yeah. And some of my coaches, like, you know, they're struggling to hit Success Club or not hitting Success Club. And I'm like looking at their social media and I'm like, well, you're not doing this and you're not doing that. So, but it's hard because you don't know how to like, for me, I don't know how to have those conversations sometimes because I'm very like non-confrontational. But sometimes you can like see on your coach's social media like what they're not doing, to kind of help push them maybe.
Maybe we should look at the obvious and ask our girls what motivates them, like instead of trying to guess.
Yeah.
I've put a lot of thought into like even just the wording and not trying to make people think that they have to do invites, but refer to it as connections, like, because that's what they refer to it in, is the vital behaviors is connect. That's that first word is connect, invite, follow up. Like I think that they just think of it as like they have to be inviting to challenge groups, but sometimes it's even just as simple as take the posts from the day before, go back and just say a thank you to the people that are supporting you in those posts, because those little connections can turn into invites and into follow-ups and things like that. And I think that that word invite is like very intimidating for some people. And I think that like I'm going to try to start referring to it as connections, because who doesn't want to make new friends with people on the internet, and maybe just kind of like bringing that change will help them switch over that mindset. Like, oh, I want to connect with these people. Like these people seem cool. So I don't know. That's just a thought I've been having of like, because I'm really, really bad at like figuring out how to word things, because I'm so like tough love, and I don't want to scare off people and intimidate them, because I'm just so like, well, you do this, 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 and this. So I'm trying to like think of new ways to word things to help my coaches kind of like come around on it. So
something that I posted in my group, and I can post in our chat too, is saying like, oh, since it's a new year, I reached out to like people who've been following my like page on Facebook or like my new followers on Instagram. And I would just reach out and be like, hey, thanks for liking my page, or thanks for the follow. In 2020, I want to share more of this. What would you like to see though? And like, that was a really good way for like, if I send out an invite, like, do you want to join my boot camp? It's crickets. But if you start a conversation and like ask your followers what they want to see, and thank them. I had so many more people like messaging back, either like, oh my gosh, I love everything you post, but definitely more meal prep tips, definitely more recipes. And then some people were like, oh my gosh, yes, I've been following you for a year. I really do need to join you. And then I still don't invite yet. I just like want to get that conversation going. So that way, when I like look back at their name, I'm like, we've talked. I feel really comfortable. Now I'm going to invite them. So I've been trying to like get that in my girls' heads. Like, it's not a cold invite. Like, connect with people and then ask them to join once you're comfortable with them, kind of thing.
I love this. Great ideas. I think we got tons of ideas of things that we could be doing better, that maybe at parts of our coaching careers we've done really well. I'm talking for myself, but maybe we've let slack or whatever it is. Like, it is always about just going back to basics. Like, I wrote down, like, for coaches hitting Success Club, why do they want it? Try to find their motivation, what motivates them, what's important to them, and then teach them how. What are some of the best practices of conversation, of, posting and those types of things. Okay, so I do want to give a few minutes to coaches hitting Diamond. And what has been working for you guys, or what are some things that you want to try that worked for you, that type of stuff.
Something that I've recently been doing, and this is just a small little thing, but the people that have been like responding to quizzes or polls or whatever it is on my stories, I'll just reach out to them and say, hey, I saw that you clicked that you were interested. Did you click that by accident, or are you interested or something? And that, like, a lot of people have been responding to that. And they're like, no, actually, like, I really meant to click it. Because, people are always like, oh, that was an accident. But so I don't know. That was just a small little thing, and people have actually been like responding to it.
I love the accidental thing, because I did the other day, I even like called out people. I was like, all right, you can do this, or you can accidentally click it right here. And I like messaged everybody. It was about a free workout. And I messaged everybody. I was like, whether you accidentally click it or not, I'm sending you the workout. And I sent it, and this girl was like, oh, that was an accidental click. I was like, of course you accidentally clicked the accidental click.
That's hilarious. I'm going to do that.
So, sorry.
That is hilarious. I mean, I just go back to the incentive. My coaches, last year told them I would get them a $50 gift card and this little diamond pendant necklace if they held Diamond for 6 weeks. And that was a big motivator for them. And then also, like you, Meg, like adding to the team goal was huge. And then I'm trying to think, I always just like talked about like what was in it for them when they hit Diamond. I kind of acted like, this was not really acted, but this is like the start of your business is when you get to Diamond. It's kind of what I told them. Like, you like officially kind of a little more than Emerald look like you're building a business. And so people might start to take you a little bit more seriously. I just talked about that all year. And then I'm trying to think, I mean, the how, just the pods. I mean, we all know pretty much.
Courtney, I think you're really good at like staying, like, for one, leading from the front, but you're really consistent with like checking in with them, showing them what to do. Like, you're very good at giving them tactical things to do each week or daily to get them there. So that's something that I like noticed that you do.
Yeah.
I just realized that we're talking about Diamonds now, not Success Club. So I apologize. It's early for me, so.
Yeah, I feel like this is my biggest struggle. I feel like every time I get coaches that are close to Diamond, they start to pull away, like every single time. So I'm trying to figure out, like, I don't know if it's just like they get scared and they start like having all these limiting beliefs of like, maybe I'm not ready to take on that leadership role. And I don't know how, like, I feel like I pour belief into them, and I feel like I'm like telling them how much they can do it, but I don't know why. Like, it seems like every single time, because I probably have like 5 or 6 coaches that could hit diamond in a month if they wanted to, but they just always like pull back. Like, they slam on the brakes whenever they get close, like even within a couple coaches close to diamond. So I don't know if that's like one-on-one conversations I need to have, or like face-to-face conversations, like if they're local. I just don't know.
Yeah, I'd ask them why they're doing that. It's probably exactly what you said, and they're scared of being a leader, although not a whole lot changes when you hit diamond. Because let's be real, like, you don't have that many working coaches. Amy did, but like I didn't. I had one working coach when I hit diamond, and that was it. Like, I can manage one person. I can work with one person. You know, when you hit 2-star, then hopefully you have you're more of that, and that leadership, like working with a team. But you can maintain diamond with like 0 working coaches, basically. So it's like, they got to get that.
That's what I was going to say. I literally hit diamond with all discount coaches. My mother was at Emerald, and Lisette was my other, but she was pregnant, and it was her husband and her sister who she just continued to order product from. And someone else ended up signing up under like the same leg as her husband. So like, I had no actual working coaches when I hit diamond, and held diamond for a really long time. But speaking as someone who's like a professional at getting in her own way, the whole like almost getting to diamond and then pulling back kind of thing, I think it's like that fine line that we always talk about. Like, diamond is not the end goal, but we're really excited when people hit diamond, but we need to explain that that's not the end goal. Like, that's not like oh my gosh, you're going to have so much responsibility. And so it's so hard, because it's like, yes, we want you to hit diamond. Yes, that's awesome. But then it also puts this extra layer of like, oh my gosh, well, diamond must mean like I have to do so much more. And so I think that's the biggest struggle with, like, Elena, what I'm hearing you saying about your coaches, and which is why I think it's really good how Hardin talks about that. It's like, that's when it starts. Like, yes, that's a huge goal, but it just shows that you've been consistent and you've started adding some people. But yeah, I literally had, and even now, I mean, I do have some that are working in their emeralds, which is good. But I, for the longest time, held a diamond that was not a single actual like working coach. So yeah, it's a hard one. That's really hard.
And be like getting coaches to diamond is going to be like getting them to keep diamond. Because I feel like people hit diamond and they're like, oh, okay. And then they like fall apart next week, which I'm guilty of that in my business centers too. Because it's like, it's such a struggle to hold it for 6 weeks, and you're like, I can breathe, and you stop watching. So it's like getting them to not get to diamond, but like be a diamond coach, like excelling their business.
Mm-hmm.
But that might be another call.
I think it's letting them know about it too. Like, for me, when I hit diamond, I didn't know it was something you could lose. And so I remember the very first time I went in my back office, it was a Thursday, and it said I was an emerald coach, and I was like shattered. Like, I thought my world was, and I was like, what happened? And that was what I learned. So it was like one of those trial and error, like we learn through failure. Well, I learned you could lose diamond. And so that's kind of been something that I now make sure that I tell, that all my coaches know. Another thing with diamond, and not to keep like referring to corporate mentors, but my new corporate mentor, Johnny, he kind of gave me a gut check a couple of weeks ago when I had a call with him, because I was talking about like, I had everything for elite except the rank. And he was like, well, what stop it? Well, we need to talk about getting your girls to diamond. He was like, so what would you tell them? Like, why would you tell them that they need to be at diamond? And so I went through all the things, and he was like, that sounds boring. He's like, that sounds like nothing that I would want to shoot for. He's like, you really need to get into, and I was so appreciative, because I love when people are just like, give it to me and don't give me fluff. Like, tell me so I can grow and get better. And I thought that was something like so powerful that I need to just like get in tune with, is like, why do they need the diamond? Why should they want it for themselves? Because if I can explain to them about diamond, being their starting point for their business, and they can then create why they want it. Because for me, I didn't hit diamond until the Success Club trip came into play, because I wanted Diamond. I wanted to go on Success Club trip as a Diamond coach. Like, I had been a coach for a year and a half, and I knew Diamond was great, and I knew it was like something spectacular, but I didn't want it for me yet. And so I think like getting in tune with why Diamond's special and why your coaches should want it for themselves is huge. So I'm going to leave you guys with that, because I got to go get on my team call. But thanks.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you, Lauren. Thanks for being on. Hey, and I think you're recording, so it's going to unrecord, which is totally fine. No, you're totally fine, because I think we're going to wrap up anyways. But